Hello. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're all okay. First things first, can you hear me? Let me know if you can. If someone's there and you're watching, please do let me know if you can hear me and see me. Drew has completely wiped the laptop, reset all the software. Took him ages over the weekend to try and get it all working. So hopefully there was some bug in the system somewhere and it's all gone kablooey. So if you're there, guys, please do let me know. Hi, hello, you can hear me and see me. Brilliant. Hopefully we won't have another situation like last week, because poor Sarah, she was stuck with all that nonsense, wasn't it? So good. I've been working from home the last couple of days, yesterday and today and tomorrow, because my op's on Thursday. So I have been sewing like a demon, trying to get samples and stuff done. Lots and lots of pattern writing as well. So yeah, it's all been good fun. Did you all have a good weekend? I hope you did. We had a lush weekend. We had, well, busy, but it was lovely. It was really nice to see people. Phil and I did the Duxford show, which was in the Imperial War Museum. I did a couple of lives for you guys, and it was busy. It was really busy, which was lovely. Not a complaint in any way, shape or form. But yes, we didn't get back till very late on Sunday night, so yeah, it's been a full-on few days. I'm quite looking forward to Thursday in the general anaesthetic, to be honest. I might have like a proper sleep. So I'm just going to say hello to everybody. Hi Kelly, hi Carolyn, hi Carol, hi Kate, hi Marilyn. Oh, lots and lots of you coming online. Who else is there? Hi Linda. Oh, thanks Carolyn. Hi Jane. Oh, lots and lots of you coming on. Hi Anne, Taryn, Marion, Nikki, Dawn. Lovely. Hello everybody. Just a quick couple of announcements before we start the class. Thank you. Yes, I hope. Hi Grace as well. Hi Carol. Yes, thank you. My op, I'm sure, will be absolutely fine. I've had it done before. Just it's been overdue this time, so hopefully it will be okay. You have to excuse the scruff bags as well, because like I said, I'm staying at home. What was I going to tell you? My brain's gone. It's completely gone. Oh, I know. So, quilt retreats. The April one, if you're on the April retreat, the balance is going to be due in about 10 days, 2 weeks. So if you haven't paid your balance on that one, you can give Sarah a call and give her a shout for that and finish off paying your balance. But we've now got all the dates settled, contracts signed for the November retreat, which is the 4th, 5th, 6th. So if you put your name down on the interested list to hold a space, you now need to give Sarah a call in the shop and pay your deposit, please, lovelies, to secure your places. That's for the November one. We asked you about a month ago, didn't we, to register your interest. So we've put all your names down. If you want to go ahead with the booking, you need to ring Sarah and pay the deposit for November, okay? Because that one is almost full already on the register of interest, let alone the actually people paying their deposits. So definitely get calling if you want to go in November. It's the same place, same price as the April one, as last November. We've managed to hold the prices for this November, so yeah, it's £100 to secure your place. There are a couple of spaces left on April's, but the November one, you need, if you did that register of interest, you need to pay your deposit to guarantee your space. Okay, so are you going to set up a group for the April retreat? I wasn't going to, lovely. I was just going to use the one that we've already got going, rather than having lots of different groups running. We'll just start the April, any of the retreats that we do, we'll use the Facebook group that we've got, and we'll start putting the information for April into that one. Otherwise, we're going to I already got about 12 different groups I have to manage, so I don't really want to have another page as well to manage. So we'll just use it as a White Gecko retreat pay group, and we'll put everything for the April one into there, okay? Hi Debbie as well. Lovely. Hi Sarah. Oh, Sarah's watching too. Hello everyone. Right, so we are going to do today, we're going to make it's the very long-winded a title, a tablet car holder organizer type thing. So little man, He likes being in the car. Doesn't like being in the car for a long time, as I'm sure a lot of your kids, grandkids and all are like. And but he really does like Hey Dougie and anything Disney, Cars preferably. But he really likes Encanto as well, so the music, I think. So I wanted, we found an old tablet so we could download some stuff on it for him. And I wanted a way of holding it in the car. So, you know, he's got his car seat and this would sit on the back of the front seat. So I started looking around for some little ideas and stuff. And there were a couple on Pinterest, but nothing I really liked. So I've kind of mocked up my version, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to go over to the overhead. I'm going to talk you through what I think we're going to need, okay? If this is for... Now, you could adapt this lots. You could adapt this with lots of different pockets, depending on the age of child and stuff. But I'm going to do it just with 2 pockets. So it's going to be like that, okay, basically. And this will hang from the headrest. So this is, we're going to put some ties on it so we can tie it around the posts of the headrest so that it sits down the back of the passenger seat. Okay. I played around with some sizes and what I wanted from mine. You, like I said, you could play around with this and basically use the same technique, same principles, but make it your own. Okay. So I've cut a piece of backing. Let me get all these bits out of the way a second. So I've cut a piece of backing fabric. So this is going to be like the thing the pockets are going to go onto. And it's 12.5 by 26. Okay, so it's a long, thin piece. It could be smaller if you just want to hold a tablet. So a tablet, this is a 10.5-inch one, which is the same as like iPads, will sit in here. Okay, it's going to sit in there so that we can play, you know, Hey Dougie probably for him. And then I want another pocket a bit further down to be able to, like, you know, put spare dummies or toys or a book or something in there as well. Okay, so you can play around with this. You know, if you've got older kids that you want like colouring books and stuff, or pens and pencils, we can make a pen pocket, which I'll talk you through. But I'm going to make this one because this one's for little man. I'm going to do this one for him. Okay. I've cut, like I said, a backing piece, which is 12.5 by 26. And then I've just basted it onto a bit of old spare wadding. Okay, this will get all cut down later. All right. I then cut, now this tablet is a 10.5-inch tablet. So I've measured and then given myself some space and also depth as well. So I've cut a piece of vinyl, which is 12.5 by 8.5. And then I found this mesh that I'd bought ages and ages ago and never actually used. So I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to use this. And again, I cut that at 8.5 by 12.5. I've never sewn with it. I don't know what it's going to sew like, but we'll give it a go. But if you haven't got any of this mesh, you could quite easily just make a fabric pocket. Just make a fabric pocket. And I think if I was doing a fabric pocket, I would probably do 12.5 wide. I want it to be 8.5, but if you doubled that and just folded it over and then top stitched, you'd have a pocket. But I thought I'd use this mesh because I've never sewn with it, so I thought we'd give it a go. I've also wanted to make as well, I prepped some of this because otherwise we'd have been here for hours and hours and hours. Right, where are we? Oh, let's just say hello. Hi Doreen, hi Carrie, hi Susie, hi Claire. There we go, hi. I've also cut some binding as well. So I cut 2 strips of this stripy binding, which was 2 inches. And I've done a bias with it. So folded it, so ironed it all in half to start with. Or if you've got a bias maker, it make life a lot easier. But folded it in half to start with. Then opened it back up and then folded them in like that and ironed it and then folded it over again. And we're going to use this not only to line the pocket, to edge the pockets, but also to make our ties as well. So, first things first, hopefully you're all okay. Hi Jenny, hi Marion, hello everybody. I've already done one side of this, okay, the vinyl, because we're gonna edge both of the long edges of the vinyl, okay. So I've cut a little piece that's about 13.5, just slightly bigger than this, okay? And we're going to sandwich in the other side. So I know vinyl is really hard for you guys to see on screen, but hopefully you'll get the idea. So I'm just going to open this up and I'm just going to sandwich this. I just want to bind basically the edge. Don't need to worry about the sides because that's going to get buried in the sides. This is because they're like the open edges, okay? So we're going to just pop this on the inside, tuck that in between the binding, like that and that. And we're going to use some clips, if I can find them. Hang on, 2 seconds and grab my clips. Oh. So what have you all been up to? Did you all have a nice weekend? How did you all get on? Have you done any sewing? The weather's nice today. Well, why'd you say that? It's gone cloudy now, but it's been really sunny, cold, but really sunny. So all I'm doing is just, and I'm not using pins because it's vinyl. You don't want to pin this because it's, if you put a pin through it, it leaves it obviously a permanent hole, but it also can scag and like tear. So I like to use my clips with that. So, hi Pamela! What we're going to do now is we're just going to stitch down that long edge and just give that, sort of enclose that vinyl edge, okay? So we're going to, no sewing, but you've been to Chester for the weekend to meet up with friends. Ah, lovely Jen, that's fab. Oh, it's nice to be able to get out and about again, isn't it? Right, let me just move that out the way because I don't need that bit anymore. Now, you could use a Teflon foot with this if you've got one, a non-stick, because we're on vinyl, but you don't need to. Oh, hang on, where am I? I want it to go that way, don't I? Don't. But actually, I've been finding that my open toe foot is really handy with all this top stitching. I've been doing a lot of top stitching the last few days, and this has been really handy because I can really see where I want to go. So I'm going to use the inside edge of the foot like that and keep the edge of the binding on it. And I found that if I sewed this way, because the fabric was over the feed dogs, the vinyl went through okay. So you do want to go a weeny bit slow and steady with vinyl. Don't try and rush it. You know, keep it at sort of a moderate speed. And then we're just going to put a line of steady stitching. Steady stitching? Top stitching. What's steady stitching? That's because I just read Claire's comment, wasn't it? Because she said making slow but steady progress on a little Stegosaurus jacket for your godson and a monster of a quilt then quilting. Oh, bless you. There we go. Oh, I want to see a picture of a Stegosaurus jacket. That sounds cool. There we go, all the way down. You can hear that, you know, it does punch through a little bit, so make sure you've got a nice new needle in it, but it sews really easily, the vinyl. I know we've used it a few times for different projects now, but there we go. Just top stitch that into place, okay? So I've just top stitched the 2 long edges, left the side bit here free. Okay, so we're going to go back over to here, and what I want to do now, I'm not actually going to trim off this excess. I'm going to leave that until we attach it to the backing piece and then trim it all off. I just think it's less likely to fray and stuff, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm now going to do exactly the same, but I'm only going to do the one edge on this mesh pocket because this bottom edge is going to, because I'm going to bag this out, is going to be trapped in the seam because I'm going to put it right at the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to do exactly the same, just put a little binding over the mesh and we're going to go across. So let's see how this goes up through the machine because I've not ever used this before. So who else is there? Hi Jane Bennett, hello. You're watching this while dog sitting for your daughter. What stitch length on vinyl, Marilyn? I just standard stitch length. I'm using 2.5. You could go a little bit smaller, but you really don't need to. 2.5 goes through nicely. Thank you, Diana. Hi, Heather. Oh, that's all right, no problem. I tried to get out to do one on Sunday, but it wasn't happening. I just didn't get a chance to do it. Right, what I'm going to do with this one, I think, because I don't want this mesh... Oh, hang on, let's go over to here. I don't want this mesh to catch in the feed dogs. And having not used it, rather than sew this side, I'm going to use this inside edge to top stitch so that hardly any of the the fabric is over the feed dogs rather than the mesh. Let's see if this works. Again, I don't know if it's going to because I've never used it. So we're having a bit of an experiment here. Oh yeah, no, that seems to be going through quite nicely. So a couple of like little tutorials I read about mesh and sewing with it said to do Some they use double layers of it, but I'm not sure it necessarily needs it. Not for this anyway. I mean, if you were maybe making wash bags or, you know, sewing project bags or stuff and you're using it, then maybe, but this is going to be in the car. It's going to be kicked and stuff by little man, isn't it? Carolyn, you finished cleaning out Dad's house. Oh, bless you. Oh, I did see on Facebook. Oh, it's a horrible job, isn't it, cleaning out all those memories, but at least you've done it now, lovely. At least you've done it. It's a big thing, isn't it, to get done. There we go. So all the way down like that. Let's see how this worked. Oh yeah, that's it nicely. That's caught nicely all the way along. So mesh, just as simple as vinyl. You can just pop it in. So let's go back over here. So yeah, that's gone in nicely. There's nothing, you know, nothing really there that's going to come apart or anything. It doesn't feel like it's not secure. I was a bit worried because of the holes and stuff, but actually that sews in really nicely. Have you guys ever used mesh before? Like I said, it's not a product that I've ever used. It was just, again, one of those random things that I have in my stash that I thought would be useful. Now it is. So, next little thing we want to do before we put all this together is make some ties. So I did another 2 inch strip, okay, and did that bias binding like that. Now I want to make this I'm going to cut this into 2 because I want to do like a little double tie. Now I did play around with the idea of doing like a strap, you know, a single strap there, but as my husband pointed out, you'd have to take the headrest out of the passenger seat, hook that over and put the headrest back in, and depending on the style of car and stuff, it might be then too high on the passenger seat or too low. So I thought by putting ties in the top, you can adjust it then yourself, and you can easily sort of just tie it on rather than having to half dismantle your car seat. So with the fabric, piece of bias, okay, and we're going to just chop this in half. So I'm just going to cut that in half. There. Okay, what's everyone saying? And you've used it in a bag pocket. It was a really, really good result. Hi, Jean. Friend dropped in it for a cuppa. Oh, that's lovely. That's nice. First thing I want to do is just tidy up that really dodgy chop in half. There we go. I'm going to open it back out, and I'm just going to tuck a bit in so I haven't got a raw edge, because these are going to be the ends of my ties, because we're going to do them like a V, like that in the top. So I want to make sure that these are nice and neat. So I'm going to fold that over, and then, am I in the right place for you guys? There we go. And then fold that back like that. Then you need that a very quick press, like that. And then fold it back over. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just stitch down one side just to enclose all that. So I'm going to pop a clip on that end, and I want to do the same the other end. So basically I'm going to leave the selvage, I'm just going to fold it over like that. And then over we go. And over we go again. Oh, come on. Over we go again, like that. Give that a quick press. And we're just making some fabric ties. I'm sure you guys have done these before. You made one a very long time ago when the kids were little. I used ties and velcros to attach them to the front seat. Yeah. Ooh, velcro would be a good idea. Yeah. Could put some velcro on the back of the seat as well, couldn't you, to stop it swinging or anything. So I'll see how this fits the car, and then we'll we'll have a little look whether it needs some velcro. So there we go, like that. All right, and then I'm just going to take this down over to the machine, and we're going to stitch all the way down. I need to do exactly the same on this one, so just very quickly fold these over like that. I've had this fabric in my stash, it's a Makawa one, for about 3 years because I loved it, and I was going to make a quilt for a little man before he was born, never got round to it. Now he's more into, he's not into dinosaurs or anything, he's more into, hey Dougie, and like I said, cars. So I thought, well, this is at least a nice way of using it up, and it'll look pretty in the back of my car anyway. I'm going to have to make a second one for their car too as well, haven't I? There we go. So like that, quick press, and we're going to go back over here. Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah, I just think what I'll do is I'll put the ties on, and then decide whether it needs a bit of Velcro as well. But like I said, you could adapt these lots and lots of ways. They don't have to be for the car. You could use these. I'm going to sew across the edge there and then down, alright? So I'm hoping I will. I might need my other foot on for this, but I'm hoping it'll go, because it's quite small through. Yeah, there we go. If you've got older kids, you could make a pocket, you know, a fabric pocket, and then sew sections down so they can put pens and pencils in, and maybe like a double pocket, which you've got pens and pencils in the front bit, colouring books or paper pad or something in the back. I was thinking you could do something like this for if you're lucky enough to have a sewing room, or the mess that is my shelf, because I moved a quilt down the other day, yesterday. I need to sort it out. It's one of my jobs this evening. You could use them in sewing room. You could you know, put lots of pockets and use them in your sewing room for like a bit like the ruler hanger. If you've ever seen our ruler hanger pattern, this is the same sort of idea. You know, rather than ties, you could do you could put some grommets or something like that in, you know, to hang it from hooks. They'd be useful maybe like in the garage and stuff, or you know, in the kitchen maybe for keeping letters and things, you know, or recipe cards and stuff. So there we go. So I've just made that first tie. There we go. So who's saying not Bruno yet then? Oh no, he loves Encanto. He loves Encanto. He likes it when Granny sings We Don't Talk About Bruno very loudly and dances around the front room with him. He likes to be held while I dance, which he thinks is very, very funny at Granny's terrible singing voice. But yeah, no, he's loving Encanto. Loving Encanto. It's such a lovely Disney film though, isn't it? It's so bright and, you know, beautiful artwork on that one as well. Here we go. So all the way down, let's make this second tie and we can start putting this all together. I could have done these beforehand really, couldn't I? But never mind. You'll have to just listen to me chatter while I do this. Hi Patricia. Oh yeah, well, it was beautiful sunshine this morning here. Cold, but really sunshiny. But it's gone all grey and overcast now, which is just typical, isn't it? So, oh, I know I haven't told you about. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it because a lot of you have purchased it. We, obviously, with everything that's going on in Ukraine at the moment, and this heartbreaking situation that's happening, we wanted to do just a little something to help raise some money. So we have released a pattern for the Joyful Heart quilt, which I will show you in a moment. Which is a quilt that we did ages ago. I did it as a class, but it's never been on the website. So we've done that. I'm just trimming off those bits there. I'm going to come back over here. Actually, I'll just very quickly come here. So yeah, so we've it's on our website, available as a digital download or a paper copy. It's called Fundraiser for Ukraine Charity Quilt, the Joyful Heart one. I'll very quickly get it for you so you can see. All the proceeds from the sale of the pattern will go directly to the Ukraine Humanitarian Relief Fund. A lot of you have already bought it. A lot of you have found it. Saw the post yesterday. Thank you so much. I think we've already raised quite a bit of money. But if you haven't bought it and you want just some little way of helping, there's that option for you. I'm just going to grab the quilt so I can show you. So it's still never been quilted. You've seen it before, guys. It is. I've had it hung behind me. It's red work in applique with these beautiful prairie points, and we just thought it was appropriate because the red work is smile, love, joy, hope, kutch, which is things we're all hopefully metaphorically sending. No, literally sending in whatever the word is. I don't know now. My brain's gone. We're hoping that people find a little bit of joy and love in this horrible, horrible time. So, so that's available as a charity, and all proceeds will go to, or profits will go to the humanitarian fund. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to this one. Just what I thought about it. Hi Susie, it's sunny in Mid Wales, but the wind is howling on our hilltop. Oh bless you. Right. Okay, so now we're going to sort of line all this up. So I've got my lovely piece of backing fabric. Okay, And then I want my vinyl bit to go on the top. Okay, now I don't want it to go right at the top because that would obviously be where the ties are and at the top of the chair. So I want it to sit down a little bit. So when I was having a kind of look at it, I think, again, you might want to measure your own thing. I think if it sits down at 4 inches, so there, so I'm just measuring 4 inches down from the top, and it's going to sit there, okay, like that. And I'm going to line those vinyl edges up like that, and then that will become a pocket which the tablet will sit in. Okay, first things first, I need a couple of pins, and I'm going to pin through the fabric just to pin that where I want it to be. Okay, like that. Now, because this other one, which is going to be down here, okay, I'm going to stitch this one into place in a moment. All right, this one is going to sit down at the bottom like that. Okay, and again, I wanted a bit of a gap. Okay, so there's about a 5-inch gap, so that if you've put a book or something in there, or a water bottle or something, it's not blocking this. So I've given myself a gap. This one is actually going to sit right at the bottom and will be sewn into the edges, so I don't need to attach that one. I will just pin it in a moment. But because this one is kind of the floating pocket, it's in the middle. Oh, thank you, Susie. It's a really old Makawa one from about 2 years ago, this one, but it's beautiful, isn't it? I'm going to stitch I'm going to top stitch again, but I'm going to top stitch along the bottom edge just to attach this vinyl pocket to the back end. So we're going to do that first. So we're going to go over to here. So, but yeah, thank you very much to everybody who's already bought the, oh, what am I stuck on? Ah, stuck on something. Who's already bought the pattern. Really do appreciate that. And we'll give it a few days, and then we'll work out how much it was raised, and then send that over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the edge of the binding right against the inside of that foot, and I'm going to move the needle over so that I'm sewing along that bottom bit there. Okay, and I'm just going to again just sew this down just to attach it to the back like that, all the way down. There we go. I do love this little fabric, it's so cute. There we go, all the way down. Just attach that pocket just along the bottom edge, like that. Okay. And then we're going to go back over here. And then, so that's now, like you can see, just attached there, just on the bottom, so that the tablet obviously doesn't fall through. Next thing I want to do is pop my ties up here. Okay. So I want to find the middle, which would be 6 1/4, because this was 12 1/2, so 6 1/4, like that. I've lost all my pens and stuff at the moment. Everything's not where it's supposed to be. So 6 1/4 is my middle there, and then I want to go halfway again. So what's that? So 6 1/4, so 3 1/8. Do you know what? I'm going to go 3 inches either side. 1/8 of an inch is not going to make any difference, is it? Okay, so I've got 2 little marks there, and lost that one. Where's it gone? There. All right. I'm going to grab one of your little ties, fold them in half. Okay, make sure they're not twisted, so they're lying nice and flat. Now they're going to end up like that once we've sandwiched it all up, but as per usual, you want to put them that way. Okay, so they're facing in at the moment. I'm also just going to splay them out just a weeny bit. Can you see what I mean? Just move them apart so that they're more of like a V shape when they come out. All right, so I'm going to pop that one in there. And again, you can adjust this for your own car or hooks that you're using, wherever you're using this, okay? I'm going to do exactly the same on this one. So fold it in half and put that against that bit there. And again, I'm just going to splay them apart just a weeny bit. I think it will just help. In fact, let me just pull. Oh, what I'm going to do, can you? I don't know if you can see that, guys. I don't know where the camera is. It's just above. I'm just going to put it just above, just to make it so when I top stitch in a moment, it'll just make it a bit stronger. It won't pull out. It hopefully won't pull out then. Okay. So I'm going to tack those in, just a couple of little stitches across there. You can leave an opening at the sides so you can have it charging in. That's a good idea. Yes. Yeah, you could, or if you put a little, you could put a little rivet in here, you know, one of those little round grommets or rivets, so that it could come out the front, so that way, because I'm going to bag this out, but if I put a little rivet or grommet in there, you could put the cable through, couldn't you? Or through the back, so the kid couldn't get it. Maybe once we put the back on, put it right the way through the back, so it could, tablet could go in, charging cable could come out, and you could plug it in. That's a really good idea. Well done. I like that idea, Doreen. I'll be stealing that. I might do that afterwards. Or you could make a buttonhole. Do it as a buttonhole, maybe. Right, I'm just going to put a couple of lines of stitching just across the top, just to hold this in place. There we go, like that. Yeah, if you didn't have like rivets or anything like that, a buttonhole, you know, just so that it's nice and neat, might work as well. Gives you an excuse to have a play with a buttonhole as well. Right, so that's now in place, which means they're tacked in, so I can take that. Oh, sorry guys. That's there, okay, so that's going to be my ties. They'll eventually go up like that. So we're just going to pin this bottom one in place now, and I can put the back on. So I'm going to just put that, line that up along the bottom edge, that little mesh pocket. But like I caught it on my bracelet. Like I said, if you haven't got any of the mesh, you could just make a fabric pocket. You could make a second vinyl pocket. Remember, we've got the vinyl on our website. You can buy it, and we've got glitter vinyl as well. So we have got it available if you want. So I'm just going to pin that in there and there. One in the centre there. In fact, that's a bit close to the edge for me to sew round. So let's put that there. And then I'm just going to put one down here just to hold it flat-ish. Okay. Right. I think that's everything I want to put on it. So I've cut a piece. Let me get rid of some of this. Yeah. Could always insert a grommet for the... Yes. It's just what I was saying, Susie. Yeah, absolutely. We could put a grommet through, or a buttonhole on the back, so it could come through from the back rather than the front, so kids can't play with the cables. If we, when this is on, you could put it through, if you put it through here, where, you know, work out whichever side your charging point is, or maybe put one either side so it's a bit easier. You haven't got to worry about taking it in and out. If you put a little buttonhole here, once it's... oh no, you'd have to do it now, wouldn't you? Because I'm putting the backing through. Oh, I'll have to work that bit out. I'll work that out. Yeah, so actually a grommet that you punch through is probably a better idea. But anyway, I suppose if you wanted to do a buttonhole, you could bind this all the way around rather than bag it out. That would work. Right, piece of backing fabric which is the same, and I've just used a piece of old white fabric which is the same as this. So it's 12.5 by 24. So we're going to line all this up like that, and we're going to pin it in place, and we're going to bag it out. So what else have you made for little ones? What are your top tips as sewers for making stuff for little ones? What is this? Right, I'm just going to be careful not to pin that vinyl. So I'm going to come down a little bit, put that there, and go through that bit there, so I'm not putting a pin through the vinyl. In fact, that pin there can come out, and we'll put that one up there. There we go, because I'm going to hit that on the machine otherwise, aren't I? There we go. What are your top tips? What have you made that you thought, oh, brilliant, that's such a good idea? If there's anything you've made, share with the group, see if you know, you can help somebody else out with some ideas. You know, have you got a favourite baby quilt pattern? Is there a pattern you like? Oh, I love this one. It's one that I always do for kids and stuff. You know, let us know. There we go. That one there. And then another one in there. Okay, so this would be right. Obviously, it's just a piece of white fabric, but if you were using a pattern fabric, you'd put these right sides together. All right, I'm going to stitch all the way round. Okay, and I'm going to leave a gap, and I'm going to leave a gap here, okay, away from the pockets. In fact, I'm going to write with a Frisson gap there to there. Okay, might just be able to get it out of that, might make it a weeny bit bigger. I've got to pull through quite a lot. Okay, so there's my gap. I'm going to leave it there between the pockets just for easiness. My niece would like a sleeping bag for a doll. with a zip all down the side. Need to get a thinking hat on, or a 1 PM idea. Yes. Ooh, Sarah likes her working stuff out. Maybe I'll give her that one. You love my All Stars by Pat Sloan. I've used it for several baby curls. Oh, nice. Made a pocket to hang one on the back of a high chair to hold wet wipes. Oh, that's a good idea. Activity cubes and play mats with sensory feeders. That's nice too. Lots of ideas there, guys. Lots and lots. Right, I'm actually going to start at the side of the gap so I remember. And I'm going to pop my needle back to the centre because I'm just going to use edge of foot. Okay, so needle down. I'm going to just lock off to start with. And I'm going to sew all the way around, leaving that gap. Sarah made the most beautiful baby bag, nappy bag, I think it was for Meg actually, when she had Erin, which was one of the Mrs. H patterns. You're just designing, a patch, there you go. Susie's designing a patchwork sleeping bag, there you go. Be able to, Taryn, go and have a look and see what Susie's doing. There we go, all the way around. Like that, just get to that end bit there, and off we go again. Years ago I did a sleeping bag which folded into a rucksack which they left. Oh, that sounds cool. You've just made some personalised Liberty bunting for a nursery. Ah, nice. I bought a little bit of Liberty to make another magic blanket for Jonah. He stole my Liberty. It was a Tana Lawn Liberty quilt that I made. I just had in the front room, just, you know, that I'd minky on the back just when you're a bit chilly, just to pull over your legs. And he loved it as a baby, and it would just make him go to sleep. We called it the magic blanket because he would couch down in there and go to sleep. So he's had it because, you know, nobody else has ever been allowed it, but of course Jonah gets whatever he wants. Right, just be careful as I'm going through the vinyl. It is a weeny bit slippy, so just make sure that you're not sliding around too much. But it's very floral. I mean, mind you, it doesn't really matter, I know it is, but there is only one magic blanket, and I've tried to make different versions of it with different fabrics, and he's having none of it. He likes the Tana Lawn. He's got very expensive taste. So when we're at Duxford, Kim Porter Fabrics, she was there with all her Liberty Lawn packs, which are fantastic value, and I think she does them 3 for 2. She's on Instagram. I did tag her in a post the other day. Right, this has moved a little bit, so I can see this fabric through the white, so that's what I'm lining up on to make sure, and I'll just cut off this excess. Now these are the ties, so I'm going to reverse back over those just to really cement that in. So Kim Porter, while I was at Duxford, she was there, so I bought some more Liberty rectangles from her in the Tana Lawn to make him another magic blanket, just in case that one gets lost, or when it's in the wash, because Cara, my daughter, was hell to pay when it's in the wash. Here we go, all the way down to there. Nearly there, guys. Got one long line to go, and then we can pull this through. So, down this side, and back onto the vinyl. So I just need to be just a weeny bit careful because it's a little slippy. Just be wary of that if you are sewing. So Jean, you made a rabbit comforter from the 1 o'clock. Ah, lovely. Oh yeah, I remember those. They were really cute, weren't they? Right, come on. It's just moving just a weeny bit, that vinyl. I don't want it to bubble. So I'm just going to make it go really slowly. Sorry, I'm having to, I know my fingers are in the way, but I'm just having to clamp it down a little bit, stop it moving. There we go. Yeah, that was lovely. What's that? 5 pillowcase floor cushions, which turn into a seat that lets them lie down watching TV. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, nice idea. Right, there we go. I'm just back to the gap now. So I'm going to reverse just to secure that. Oh, I think I've seen those on Pinterest, Claire. I think I know what you mean. It's like 5 pillowcases all sewn together, so they're like in a long line that like fold up. Then that's like a seat, but then they can lie down. Is that what you're talking about? Might be. Right, pins out, and this is where I hope this has worked, because like I said, not done this before. Making it up as we go along. Okay, pins. So need to get rid of all this excess. So I'm going to chop it all off now, and I'm going to chop it off in line with the backing fabric. There we go. Trim off all that excess wadding like this. What else have we got going on? Let me just get rid of that. I've got a thing come up that I couldn't see. I think the lawns are very, very soft, almost silky. Maybe that. Yeah, I think so, Claire. It is. He likes that real sort of soft, silky touch. Yeah. Apparently used to unmake your cot as a baby so you could get to the ribbon at the blankets. Oh, yeah. It's funny, isn't it, how they are about texture. But yeah, he does. He likes that very sort of silky feel. So yeah. So I bought some more so that I can make him an extra one. More really, make one so that Cara, doesn't worry so much that she's going to go missing or gets damaged, So, typical though. It's very expensive taste. All the blankets and things that he got made, the one thing he wants is Granny's Liberty blanket. There we go. All the way down like that. Nearly there, guys. And then we should be able to pull this through. So if I just line that up like that. Oh, my stitching's a bit wonky there, but never mind. It's fine. Like you said, it's for the car, isn't it? As long as it holds the tablet, it'll be fine. Right. Just going to get rid of that Frixion pen there. Oh, little trick actually. Sarah taught me this one, and I've used it a lot. He's Granny's taste. Yes, he has got Granny's taste. Expensive. Before you pull this through, in order to get a nice, neat turn, if you just iron this now, like back in line with the hem, so you've got a little crease there already, makes it, when you're hand stitching, it makes it a lot neater. Again, do that side with the wadding bit, like that. Just put a little crease in there. Give it a little press first before you pull it through, and it does generally work. It works really nicely. And the last thing we want to do is just chop off those corners, just clip those edges like that. And we're nearly done. Oh, it's been a bit of a long one today. Sorry, guys. Probably lost half of you. Had to go back to working stuff. Right, hand through, and let's pull this all through. Remember, there are still a few pins in there, so go steady. We've made bit pillows for all 3 grandchildren, some cousins which they love. Anna sleeps with hers. Oh, bless. That's sweet. Right, now that vinyl is a bit stiff, so you've got to work your way through. Come on. It will work. Come on. If you didn't want to have to do this, we could have just done like a quilt and then bound it, put a binding on it. But I'm hoping that all this is caught. This is where I find the mesh pocket hasn't caught. Let's push out those corners like that. Get my hand in there. Right, I'm going to get rid of those pins now because I don't need them, and I've almost stabbed myself a couple of times. Try and get my hand in there and just push out those corners like that. Get my fingernail right in there, and there as well. In fact, I'm not going to top stitch this now because I'm very aware of the time, but you want to give this a press, but of course don't put hot iron on this vinyl, okay, because it will melt. It does bubble and wrinkle. Okay, so let me just pop a pin in there so I know to sew that bit up. I'll hand stitch that and then I'll top stitch round. You could, if you wanted to, I suppose, put a couple of lines of quilting in this back. In fact, I'll probably do that. I'm just going to pop a couple of lines here and a couple of lines there just to hold that in. You're all still here, cool. Yeah, it was a really handy hint, that. Yeah, it's something she showed me she did, and I was like, oh, that really helps, because it's nice and neat now. You haven't got to try and estimate it when you turn it under. You've got a line there to follow. There we go. So you want to roll that all the way through. Okay. I would give it a gentle press, probably from the other side, but don't put anything on there. And then I would top stitch all the way round. So edge of foot all the way down, okay? And then hopefully tablet will sit in there like that. I can tie that to the headrest. Could probably have made it a weeny bit smaller, but actually that's, you can see the screen totally, which is good. You've got a little bit of a lip there, and then mesh pocket at the bottom, but again I'll top stitch it all. I'm just aware of time. And then obviously you can put, you know, books and bits and pieces and all in there. You could, I suppose, put a little bit of Velcro on there if you wanted to keep that shut, but actually by the time you've put a water bottle and bits and pieces, really simple little thing to make. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Nice and easy, but vary those pockets. You know, you could put this, I wouldn't put it up much higher than that because of the back of the chair, you know, but I could have put a double pocket in here. I could have put another pocket in slightly taller, so you've got another one there, and then the mesh one. We talked about if it was older kids, useful for, yeah, 11 years ago. I know yours are a bit old now, aren't they, love? But you could do, you know, maybe make this one slightly bigger, and then put another pocket on with like 1 inch seams in it, so that they can put pens and all, like you know, a roll, like a pencil roll. So, you know, lots of ways you can play around with this and make it your own. Or have a look at the ruler hanger that Sarah did, because it's this type of idea that you could then slot your rulers or use it, you know, in your craft room. If you put a couple of cup hooks into the side of your what's the word, shelving or something, cup hooks, and tied that round, it might be a nice way of like storing templates and you know, smaller templates and stuff like that. So so there, that's kind of it for me today. I come back over here now. Hi, I will be back tomorrow, but it's 7 p.m. because we've got the quilt along. We've got week 3 of the quilt along, so it's 7 p.m. tomorrow, not 1 o'clock. What's that, Carol? Are you going to the Birmingham Craft Show? We're not, I'm afraid. No, we've got so much on at the moment. Our next one will be Malvern now, which is in the middle of May. We haven't, because we've got the quilt retreat, and we're doing a couple of pop-up shops for people in April. We're not doing the Birmingham one. So no, sorry lovely, won't see you there. We are doing Festival of Quilts in the NEC in Brum in August, so if you're going to that one, then yes, we will be doing that one. Cool. Yes, so tomorrow 7 p.m. For quilt along, crochet along, sorry, no, quilt along. It's right, I've got wool over there, my brain went to crochet rather than quilt. Quilt along, 7 p.m, week 3, patterns on the website. You will need some stitch and tear, okay? It's going to be foundation piecing. I use stitch and tear. You might just want to do it on the paper and tear the papers out. I don't do that, I don't like it. So if you want to do it my way, you want stitch and tear. If not, you can do it on the paper, but you have to take the papers out, okay? But we'll talk through both options. Don't forget that charity pattern is there if you haven't already and you would like to donate. You're more than welcome to. And if you put your name down for the November retreat, quilt retreat, as registered your interest, we are now taking deposits to secure your place, okay? Because it's not secured until you've paid your deposit. But yeah, please don't hesitate with that if you want those places in November. So what's that? Great, mate. Probably won't make it tomorrow night, so hopefully, thank you. Oh, thank you, Claire. That's very sweet of you. Yes, I will see you all tomorrow night, guys. I'm going to go because I got lots of sewing to do, ready for a Chanda next week. So we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.